And welcome to Hannity tonight. Fresh off another strong debate performance, Donald Trump is back on the campaign trail. Now, he hosted a town hall meeting in New Hampshire just a few hours ago. Here are some of the highlights.
Always making speeches. Because we have to make our country great again, right? I love the vets. We have a lot of vets here tonight. In leadership, I win like forget it. Not even a contest. So much higher than everybody else, like 2 or 3, I don't know. You got all these cameras going, they can tell you. And we're going to do question and answer. And you can make them vicious, violent, horrible questions, even though you're sort of probably on live television. How many cameras are lit? Yeah, there's a lot of them. Every time I speak now, it's on live television. You know why? It's a very simple business, ratings. The other thing I want to just dwell on for 2 seconds, and you've heard, but we are going to build a wall at the border. We're going to build a wall. I'm going to make this wall so beautiful because when I'm gone, they're going to probably change the name to the Trump wall. I've got to make it beautiful. I've got to make it.
Also tonight, Donald Trump was center stage at the second GOP debate. Let's take a look.
What I am far and away greater than an entertainer is a businessman, and that's the kind of mindset this country needs to bring it back. We will do, between that, Ukraine, all of the other problems, we won't have the kind of problems that our country has right now with Russia and many other nations. And nobody ever mentions North Korea, where you have this maniac sitting there, and he actually has nuclear weapons, and somebody better start thinking about North Korea and perhaps a couple of other places. The hedge fund guys won't like me as much as they like me right now. I know them all, but they'll pay more. I know people that are making a tremendous amount of money and paying virtually no tax, and I think it's unfair. If I'm president, many of the things that we discussed tonight will not be forgotten. We'll find solutions, and the world will respect us. They will respect us like never before.
Joining us now with Reaction 2016 GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump. Mr. Trump, good to see you, sir.
Hi, Sean.
All right. You definitely get the best and funniest post-debate tweet award. When you put up today, CNN had the highest ratings in their history and highest ratings ever. Will they send me flowers and a thank you note? Why do I not suspect that's coming?
Well, they probably will be sending me something. I think they're very thankful. But, you know, these things usually have like 1 million people, 2 million people, and they'll probably have 23, 24, 25 million people based on their early numbers. So we'll see. But maybe I'll get some flowers from CNN. Who knows? Were
you happy with the format? It almost was, to me, a little WWE. You said this about this person, they said this about you, and we want you to fight. And then it went on for 3 hours. Happy with it? Unhappy? You think it was productive?
Well, the thing that made me most upset, and everybody else too, was the 3 hours. Because to be standing up for 3 hours, answering questions in the form of a debate, and I think the viewers probably, frankly, I think they would have done as well as they've done. I think they set a record in the history of CNN. As well as they've done, they would have done better if it was an hour shorter. It was too much. It was too long. And I would imagine at a certain point people get bored with that. But I like the way that, certain things happened. I would say this. It was a little bit like WWE, the great Vince McMahon, who was a terrific guy. The way and every question had to do with me. It was Mr. Trump said this, Mr. Trump. I think they said 46% of the questions had something like that. So I thought it was a little bit unusual.
There's a disparity. 3 Snap polls, Drudge poll, a couple of other polls last night, had you at 60% the winner. If you listen to the political class, the punditry class, the so-called experts, they didn't give you the win. How do you explain that disparity?
Well, they've actually had, 3 polls, Time Magazine and Newsmax and Drudge, which are terrific polls. Those are big, it's over 1 million people, and they voted for me between 60 and almost 70%, and that's out of 15 people. That's a lot of people. But they voted for me that I won, and won easily. I think second place was like 10. I was at 60-something, and second place was at 10. But if you watch the pundits, they all said I did fine, but they didn't say I won. So the people that vote, and maybe that's the important ones, but the people that vote said I won. And, don't forget, again, very much like Fox, I hate to bring this up, but I was asked probably the toughest questions because everything was about, like, Trump said this, Trump said that. And even when the question wasn't asked to me, they were saying, Trump said this, how would you respond? So I think probably by far I was asked the toughest questions, but the voters all said that I won by a lot. So we'll see. I guess in the end it doesn't matter.
You know, a lot of pressure was brought to bear on you that you signed the loyalty pledge that if you didn't win the nomination yourself, that you would support the nominee. It's interesting as I watched that all unfold. Then you have some people on the stage last night questioning your temperament with the nuclear button. Did that bother you? And what's your answer to them?
No, they want to get publicity off me. I mean, they're dying. They have 1% in the polls. Some of them are sitting senators, and they have 1%. They're very embarrassed. They're embarrassed in terms of their own constituency back in their state. And frankly, I understand exactly what they're doing. So they said, a couple of them, actually, Mike Huckabee, who's a terrific guy, said to me, I'm going to attack you because the only way I'm going to get some publicity out of this is to attack you. And he was kidding. He was just having fun. But he was having a hard time getting some airtime. He said, the only way I'm going to get airtime is to attack you. And we laughed. But there's a little truth to it, I guess. Although everybody that's attacked me, if you look at Perry, and if you look at everybody, I mean, everybody so far that's attacked me has gone down. We'll see what happens. Hopefully that continues.
And obviously, I think you were prepared for it. You had made those remarks the day before that you had anticipated that. Let me show two moments with Jeb Bush. One I thought was a funny moment with your Secret Service names, followed up by facing off in a battle of words, and get your reaction to this.
Ever ready. It's very high energy, Donald. Mr. Trump?
Humble.
According to what you said on one of the talk shows, you got Hillary Clinton to go to your wedding because you gave her money. Maybe it works for Hillary Clinton. It doesn't work for anybody on this stage.
I was a businessman. I got along with Clinton. I got along with everybody. That was my job, to get along with people.
But the simple fact is...
Excuse me. 1 second.
No.
I didn't want to...
The simple fact is, Donald, you cannot take...
More energy tonight. I like that.
All right, both were pretty funny moments, but there's a serious side to this issue, and I've asked you this question before, and that is you fully acknowledge the system is corrupt. You also say that you took advantage of it. You donate, they would take your calls. What's the reason, and that you want to change the system? You know, what would have happened if you didn't donate? Would projects have been lost? Would workers be fired? What would have happened?
Well, you wouldn't have done a lot of deals. I mean, frankly, and that's maybe human nature to a certain extent, Sean. You know, you donate and 2 years later, 3 years later, you need approvals or you need to go get something or you need something for outside or from outside the country. You need something from State Department or whatever. And if you donated, they think well of you. And if you don't donate, and I'm not just saying one thing for another, I'm just saying years later, if you donate, they think well of you. I would say, just to answer your question, yeah, probably many things would not have happened, which is a shame. We need transparency in our system. We have no transparency, or we don't have proper transparency. So we need transparency. I know how to fix the system. Nobody else does, because I've been a part of the system. For better or worse, but I've been a part of the system as a businessman. One of the magazines just called me a world-class businessman, which in all fairness I am. I've been part of the system. So whether it's that or whether it's taxes or whether it's anything else, I've been such a big part of it. I'm the one that knows how to fix it and fix it properly so that we can really go to greatness from where we are right now as a country.